Teams long for the moment where they have their fate in their own hands, and that is exactly where we find Evil Geniuses and Misfits. I am Stumpy, joined by Cole, sitting on a double-header of a casting series today, unexpectedly. And we are seeing which of these teams is going to head through and earn more points for the major in our first upper part of the bracket.
Absolutely massive series this, as they all are at this time in the split and at this time in each individual tournament. And Evil Geniuses, they to me have been playing incredibly well so far this series, finishing like this. My man Rizex, look at that.
Awesome start there. Cash does get a touch into the corner, but Rizex reading it perfectly from the awkward corner bounce as well. Slightly below the crossbar, pretty much unsavable. 8 seconds, EG taking the lead, and it definitely seems like it's one of those moments where, with Evil Geniuses splitting the desk with Misfits as well, it really could go either way. And I think that a lot of people would put these teams on par with each other, and they're both brilliant additions to the European teams heading over to the major.
Oh, almost another one there for Catalysm, but Cash, my pick of Misfits players, getting involved in the way. There's still so much pressure from Evil Geniuses at the start, and this is what they did yesterday against Team Endpoint. I think they were 4-0 up in about a minute or so, just styling on them in the first game, making a massive statement. And Evil Geniuses are a team that have to make statements. They've got themselves a little bit of an identity as being a little bit bottly, a bit of a bottle job, sort of giving up, being very clutch. They lost 3 Game 5s, I think it was, in the last regional. They lost a tiebreaker to have to go to close qualifiers. And in those close qualifiers against Misfits, Game 1 they conceded with 12 seconds left, lost the overtime. And then Game 5, 2 seconds left they conceded, lost the overtime. Misfits will always keep on coming, but Evil Geniuses, they're going to have to step up a bit more this time throughout the series as Catalysm almost doubles their lead.
I mean, Cash a minute ago set up one of his teammates to come in and just work onto a shot. Got it right above the crossbar too, using all of his boost. And yet no one was there. Arju and Cash both going for one bump. Maybe seeing a couple of positional errors. Great shot from Cash, the most mechanical player on the team. But I was talking to Jorby a little bit before we started, and he was saying, after being on the Misfits team stream, he has been so impressed with Matane, saying that he was rivaling Cash in terms of his mechanics. So that's definitely a player that I've got my eye on to see what he can whip out the back.
Well, what's impressed me so far is the cleanness of all the hits from all these players so far in this first game. I mean, there's no sort of prodding it, finding each other out in this one. They're going straight at it, going for the solo players, going for the big hits and the big connections. Into a very fast match so far as Arju goes to the backboard, leaves it. 2 of his teammates coming in there. I think Matane fancied that one, but Cash got in the way. And suddenly, Misfits are going to have to scurry back. There might be a chance for Catalysm, and he's got the finishing to make it 2-0.
Catalysm, Gregan's golden boy, manages to get this second shot off and a goal. Finds it in midfield and curling beautifully towards that right-hand post. Great shot from him with under 2 minutes, so just over 2 minutes have elapsed. EG doubling up on their lead, and it's looking like potentially Misfits, they just need to get that communication back up. Since I first mentioned that there was the Arju Cash double commit, Cash is double committed with both of his members of his team 2 or 3 times. You don't want that.
Yeah, you have to always expect if you're playing with Cash that he will want that ball, but that means that the communication has to be hot every second of the way. Definitely a Cash-focused attack from them. Catalysm, though, for Evil Genius, as he's being let in. He is their star man, makes them tick completely. Keep an eye out for him, just letting the ball roll across him, doing these little fakes and these jukes that affect the rhythm of the opposition's defending. No rhythm now to their defense. Catalysm on the backboard. He'll be able to see this one away. Rizex is still further up, but there's a lot of movement here from Misfits. But Evil Geniuses are breaking through the Misfits squeeze so well so far.
Yeah, getting a bit of pressure now as EG do start to turn it back round yet again. Rizex trying to pass towards Catalysm, who lets that ball go. Cash in the skies, he can do magic. He goes up for one, and Arju to receive the second.
That is everything that Cash is about. I thought he was going for the air dribble, and look at this. The enforced flip reset at the end of an air dribble. He got bumped away, but because the communication that we were talking about earlier was so good, Arju follows up and makes it 2-1.
That's such a good idea from Cash as well, to fake out going for the air dribble, thinking he's going to keep going in that one. He can only go higher from there. As soon as he then gets the flip reset, he can land a lot more neutrally on the ball and send it at a plateau instead of it always rising. Just a really, really good idea.
Misfits definitely working their way into this one, and Evil Geniuses clearances out of defense, not quite as strong, although that clearly wasn't strong there from Misfits. Arju will be on hand just to make sure that nothing too bad happens from it, but there's a bit of a free chance there for Evil Geniuses, which is what they needed after conceding the 3rd goal. Catalysm up against Arju here. This one's going to fall to Metain, the man who may or may not have better mechanics than Cash. Can he outdo his teammate from earlier? He'll leave it to Cash. Rizix gets in the way and sends it to the side.
Brilliant positioning as well, and both these teams really fighting to make that major after they both, quite disappointingly, missed out for the full major. Neither of them attended Stockholm, and yet absolutely blew the socks off anybody that was scrimming them. They were taking the initiative, going up against the biggest names in the world whilst they were in the region, and frequently those North American teams and other region teams, they were saying, Evil Geniuses, Misfits, the Queso as well at the time, they are one of the best teams we've ever played. Maybe it's just them in scrims, but as soon as they can translate that, if they face any cross-Atlantic teams, they already have that fear factor.
The more experience they get, the more they'll be able to deal with that sort of pressure. Cash is putting on some pressure of his own. It squeezes its way in. Misfits equalize.
Brilliant equalizer as well. It was just continued pressure from Misfits. Metain to the backboard. Catalysm shying away from the challenge and just ends up meeting Ivan in the bottom. Their zones of influence end up overlapping like a very unfortunate pie diagram. And in the end, ends up having that second goal for Misfits fly in.
Or it could be another one, Cash, from the kickoff. He tries to squeeze it in, but he just about ran out of room, so couldn't get the flick going. And now, thanks to Rizix's 50-50, Misfits are sent all the way back home. Evil Geniuses with 2 goals to the good once upon a time. That's 2-2, but Arju, good play from him. Good 50-50. He loses it tactically towards Metain, who has no boost, but still is making Evil Geniuses feel a little bit scared. Ivan's coming forward. A great demo, though. Is that the game? Yes, it is.
Brilliant demo on that back line, removing a player, Ivan, just knowing that that's coming in. Rizix has no ambition of going for the ball or trying to go for any kind of assist on it. Off-ball play has earned EG the potential win in game number 1.
Misfits have already come back a couple of times, though. Can they do it a third time to take us to an overtime? That's a good touch from Arju. Metain wants to get a bump on Ivan, but Ivan just steals away those seconds. Cash is waiting for it, though. It's choreographed by Ivan, who then gets a really solid 50-50 challenge. Misfits pen back in their own half. They have to first get this ball, then they have to do something with it. They weren't able to do either, and it's Evil Geniuses that take game 1.
Really good start as well, but I'm impressed by the Misfits comeback, to be honest, in that game. Being scored on twice in about 2 minutes and then nothing happening for a little while. You were kind of thinking Misfits were sitting back a little bit too much, maybe not wanting to get too involved, realizing, let's chuck the kitchen sink at it and see if we can't make something of this game. Brought it back than that 2-2. Unfortunately, though, when you have demos flying in and you're completely body blocked away from the from your own net to save it, it's never happening. Look at Rizix move up, typically the star striker on this team as well, coming into today as the highest shooting percentage in the entire European region.
Well, it's 2 teams that have both had their mentality questioned. And I think that first game showed that they are starting to come out of that. Misfits were 2 goals down, they brought it back. You know, they have that in them. They can talk things through, even if any individual game isn't working. Whereas Evil Geniuses, the opposite, they had the 2-goal lead that they lost, then still managed to win that game. So a big start for both teams in different ways. Sets up a really intriguing series right now. An intriguing best of 7, Stumpy. The first best of 7 of the tournament.
Yeah, very true. The Premier Cup is looking like it's going to be getting off to a huge start. Hopefully we can see, those big bracket resets at the end as well on tomorrow's games. But so far, only 1 series per. We can't treat you too much, guys. Come on.
Metain, how much can he treat his team Misfits with this play? Not too much. Catalysm didn't have to do too much to clear that one, but it's still Misfits pressure. Arju keeps it going and Catalysm clears it long. We have, for the most part, seen some really good clearances from Evil Geniuses. When Misfits do put on the pressure, the clearance from Evil Geniuses tends to be a decent pass out, and that's getting them a lot of territory in return.
Yeah, so far, just pumping that ball back and forth up the beautiful pitch of Forbidden Temple, one of my favourites. But Rizix finds Ivan down towards Catalysm, slightly in front of him, though. Catalysm maybe could have moved up a touch earlier to then receive that ball, but it was just very, very well placed. Rizix, for one, nearly gets that acute angle. Instead, Catalysm, the backboard again. Metain, hopefully just flying up and getting in the way. Does manage to do so. Sent high above the box by Arju again. Rizix to receive, but with Metain on that left wing. Low boost, it doesn't matter. He still gets it into the blue half.
Cash is going to try and keep things going and link the play with the slightest of touches from his own pass into the corner. Couldn't quite get it. In fact, it was closed down very well by Evil Geniuses, who are well aware of his tricks. Rizix waits, just starting slightly ahead of Cash. It was like a head start for him to win that race there. But you can see that the respect that Cash gets, whenever he gets it, he is closed down so quickly.
I mean, Cash was statistically the best player on the team in that last game, getting nearly 700 points. And that was with them losing as well. So consider just how well he was able to do. But Matane only clears that ball as far as Ivan. Good idea from Cash to go up early. Ivan looking for a couple of bumps as well, seeing how much they profited from that previously. If they can get a few more, it's going to do them well. But Matane onto the right wing, and Ivan sends it high again, just poking, prodding, hoping that the defense breaks through like a paper disc.
Yeah, it's not quite falling for Evil Geniuses right now. It almost did earlier for Ivan as he puts on another shot that almost falls to Catalysm. But his first touch wasn't quite the best, and that meant that Misfits they could come forward and close him down. But it's Evil Geniuses that, to this attack here from Misfits, have been looking a little bit more likely. Certainly more blue control of the ball than orange right now. They do with it this time. There's a good win against Matane from Catalysm. RizX, does he go for the dunk or the finish? It's the finish. Arju was equal to it, but that was a really good opportunity for Evil Geniuses yet again.
Yeah, near impossible to score, may I add, but I like that he went for it, and even if he doesn't score, doesn't matter. You then get the pass off. It doesn't matter who scores it. You get the goals. It's happy days. RizX trying to do just that. Can he get any of the assists? Not quite.
There have been plenty of times where I thought it was impossible to score, and at this level they still find a way to do it. I'm not sure that word exists with players of this ilk, but that one should be very possible indeed. RizX can't quite put it on target though, just above the crossbar, and Ivan again with a slightly rushed touch. Just booms it onto the backboard. I'm sure it's tactical, maybe trying to waste some Misfits boost, but surely he could have at least gone for a 50-50 there. Maybe he's right though, because there's still more opportunities for Evil Geniuses. But Misfits again, able to take control and see it away.
I mean, he didn't have much boost to him. He had 13, but I feel like you say he could have forced that 50. He could have done something with it, but it has led to extended pressure and Catalysm opening the scoring with 1:30 remaining.
I guess that was the theory. Just keep that pressure on. I love that communication there as well. Ivan wanted that ball, but RizX 100% called him off. So by the time the ball falls to Catalysm, easy.
RizX being able to get the block, goes up with Ivan, calls him off, and then gets the dunk as well on that play, and then finally bumping the keeper away from any saving position. A lot done there.
Cash has to turn this one around. Here he goes for one of these plays again. He's getting the ball. Every time he goes for that sort of glided shot of just letting the ball scrape his car from the corner. And he's definitely been practicing those in free play, has Cash. We went back against him from scoring one in this series at some point, but so far it's been defended valiantly by Evil Geniuses. That was slightly less valiant. There was one player missed, two of them boomed it away, and somehow it ends up in the Misfits half.
It kind of got absorbed by the EG hive mind and spat out.
Matane trying to flick it on like his teammate Cash. Instead it turns into a fake towards Arju, and Cash with a much more simple shot. Bumps and hits and almost demos going on all over the place in the Evil Geniuses goal line as they hold on. 35 seconds left. Matane's coming up, beats Ivan to the ball, all ends up. That's really good clearance from RizX, not just to get distance on the ball, but also to find Ivan, who takes a couple of linking touches and then gets tackled by Cash. It's very open in the last 20 seconds.
Yeah, suddenly it's every man for themselves. Even if you're on the same team, seems to be a game of possession. Catalysm bumping Matane away, and RizX dunking one man with 7 boosts. He can't do much apart from flick it central. Matane is fully aware of that. Final 10. Arju pinching with Ivan onto the backboard. Cash needs to get this ball downfield to get that goal. Matane can't get it around Catalysm. Cash just keeping that skyward. Tapped down by RizX. EG leading by 2 games.
RizX really impressed me in that second game. The amount of clean touches he would make into just the point that Misfits Gaming did not want it. And that last touch that he got overall was the perfect example. You know, slamming it down like he's in a game of drop shot was exactly what they needed. And those are the sort of 50-50s and touches that he was going for the whole time.
Timeout has been called by Misfits as well. They're going to be trying to figure out what it is they can do to work around that hive mind that Evil Geniuses have started to build up. I feel like Misfits have actually looked pretty decent, to be honest. I think the Evil Geniuses have had some holes that can really be punished. I think they've had some opportunities where they haven't looked perfect. And Misfits haven't really taken the initiative to punish those situations. I think EG have just done exactly that. They have seen those holes that Misfits are leaving open, and they are finding those opportunities. Catalysm, for example, shooting early on in this game and manages to get, with 1:30 left in this game, and just manages to sneak it past. Earlier on, Catalysm, again, just shooting when he sees that the net is a little bit open and forcing Misfits to have to play a little bit further back, a little bit more reserved, which is not how they like to play. Force them into those awkward situations. That is what EG have done so well.
I just wonder whether Misfits are playing a little bit one track right now. Evil Geniuses seem to have identified Cash as the solo guy. Whenever Cash gets the ball, he is being closed down in midair, or if he's going for one of those angle touches that he's gone for a couple of them, they're closing those down quickly too.
It's so important for EG right now. They're on boot camp. They are in that same room together. Their coach looks to be in a different room with a terrifying long-legged bear in the background. But regardless, I know, creepy, right? But regardless, having the 3 players with you, being able to turn around, look and chat and sort of do those fist bumps mid-game and say, hey guys, we're doing it. Misfits as well. They are also boot camping. This is the battle of the boot camps, battle of the bottle jobs, battle of any B word you can think of.
Well, battle of the bear with long legs, apparently. I feel like Evil Genius's coach just has to say, look, if you lose this, I'm going to set Terry on you. Yeah, send the bear. That's what they do not want.
I can beat that bear up.
You could indeed. But yeah, Evil Geniuses, they are impressing me very much. But Misfits, they have a lot more to offer here. I think I want to see a bit more mechanically from Arju in particular and Matane as well. You know, we've heard so much. You were saying behind the scenes what Joby was saying to you about Matane. We haven't really seen it here. They seem to be relying on their big man Cash. Equally, if Cash starts putting in passes, their pre-jumps, Evil Geniuses will be completely nullified.
Yeah, I wonder if Cash at the moment, though, is maybe trying to compensate a little bit too much, where we saw him, especially in game number 1, that he was trying to go for those plays himself and wasn't going for those passes. If you can convince him to sit back just a touch more and maybe play a little bit more conservatively, then you could get something going. Cash, again, taking the ball away from Arju, who was right to that time, but maybe Arju has to be called off from it instead. I feel like it's just, you've got 3 men and you're playing in the space of 2.
That's why Cash is so devastating, though. Pinches like that one. And Matane's trying to come in, but a little bit too slow. Meaning Arju is all alone at the back with Ivan in the corner. It's a good corner touch from Arju with no boost. Still manages to tee up. Cash, he's still got no boost. I think he got 12 right at the end there, but thankfully his pathing in the end took him to 100, because that was a little bit awkward for Arju. Means that he's still having to rotate back a little bit slowly. Now he's back. Ivan up against him, and Arju's intercepting again. So a lot of defensive work for Arju in the first 55 seconds. But Evil Geniuses have just got their way out of defense.
Yeah, it's a minute gone, and it does seem to be a lot of Misfits trying to just scare EG as much as they possibly can, you know, going up for a couple of awkward touches. That one, though, does end up getting missed by Matane, so Rizix can catch it on that side wall. A few missed plays, I think, from both teams. EG, if they start to look shaky now, I do see Misfits being able to take full advantage of them.
And there is still time in this series. Best of 7, don't forget. I feel like in every best of 7 series, there's always one game that's just a little bit off, a little bit awkward and slow. This so far has all the makings of being that game, but that can change
Far
in an instant.
perfect, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. The sloppiest one. But Ivan's going to try and change that with some clean 50-50s up against Cash in the corner. Can he tee up a teammate there? Not quite, because Cash plays it really well and saves his boost as well, but can't quite get that 100. Matane, though, does come steaming in. Fatalism closes it down, and everyone is just a little bit boost scrappy right now. Whenever I think a player's going to do something, the camera cuts to them and they're on 1 or 2.
I mean, boost though right now for EG, looking pretty dire. For a good 5 or 6 seconds, they had about 30 or 40 between them. Misfits have managed to bring themselves back up to a total of about 300, so nice. I'd like to see a push start to begin from Misfits, but when EG are low on boost, one thing that I love I'm seeing is that they don't then shy away from the play. Arju, great idea to go for a bump there as Cash tries to get the flip reset. EG, when they don't have much boost, they don't shy away from the play, they stay on and they make it so then their other 2 teammates are able to pick some up and then defend when the 50 may not go their way. That's very, very intelligent.
Catalysm now is in this corner. He loves having control of the ball and just making his opponents think, but that one's a little bit more rushed than I think he would have liked. This time he has more time to pick his choice. It's a tee up to Ivan. Rizix is arriving. It's actually a fake, I think,
Good
from
demo.
Ivan towards Rizix. There's a great demo there from Matane on Catalysm, which means that Rizix's clearance is a little bit awkward. Catalysm's trying to turn, and Ivan saves the day.
Really good chance, though, for Misfits to get the opening goal. Just ended up hitting the post, and so they're still going to remain at 0-0 with 2 minutes remaining. I think that was a brilliant chance, in fact, for Misfits to be able to secure 1 and just be able to break this deadlock they seem to have found themselves in.
Still yet to have a lead in this series, Misfits, after getting the 2 goals when they were 2-0 down in the first game and no goals in the last game. So That'll be something they'll be keen to do very, very soon.
Chance?
This could be the moment. Matane doesn't quite have the boost to get round, but Cash almost scores it, and there is Ivan again from the side.
Such a basic shot, but Ivan is going to be credited with the save. The demo was brilliantly timed. In the end, a low shot from Cash is exactly where the defender's going to want it to fall. Minute 20 remaining. Yet again, Misfits with a brilliant chance to find the lead.
Oh, that was just for a split second. I thought that one might have been pinching in, but what it will do is allow Misfits to come forward until that demo completely takes away the teeth of their attack. Rizek's a 50-50 with Arju is a good one, actually, for Misfits. Matane from the backboard can't do anything with it. Now Ivan, a man who's intercepting so much for Evil Geniuses, can bring it forward. And from the start, Evil Geniuses now have a lot more boost control and midfield control.
Yeah, it's looking like EG are really starting to form into the style that they might like to play. We're receiving a lot more of that boost, being able to then pass it around from Rizex to Ivan. Catalysm, though. Again, the spearhead of that attack, the ball's slightly out of place for him, but great ambition. Cash for the 1-2 off the ground, cleared from Ivan yet again. The defensive maestro, and goes to the other end to remove Matane from the net.
Catalysm has a chance to go solo himself. One touch, then a second one towards the backboard, but Cash was just lingering and now spins his car. Maybe a flip reset for good measure. No, just a fake flip reset. Rizex is called into action. There's a snapshot here from Matane. Ivan from the backboard finds Catalysm. This one really open all the way to the end. Here's Catalysm to the backboard. Wants to get a decent touch on this one to send it downwards. Goes down towards Rizex. Ivan is in the center. Matane is arriving. Maybe one more chance for either team. Rizex, he goes up quickly. This could be the win for Geniuses. Oh, but off the crossbar, then the post, and it's overtime.
Double woodwork nightmare material as EG just miss out on going into game number 4 with 3 in the bag. Cash, though, immediately on that attack. Ivan again to clear it away. That's a scary, scary moment for Misfits. They were so close.
Cash with a really, really good touch there, but it's just fallen to Catalysm. Matane on the goal line saw that Catalysm had a shooting chance and did the best with it. Now Arju and Cash combine. All too involved as far as Evil Geniuses are concerned. Somehow they keep the ball out. I couldn't even see what happened because of an explosion.
An outstanding chance for Arju is what was hidden by the smoke. It's, again, a tap. May well have done it, but it was brilliant defense from EG to keep it out. We keep talking about, or at least I keep talking about, Misfits not being able to score these, but the saves from EG are just frankly phenomenal.
Yeah, the defense is getting better and better. Oh, Evil Geniuses. Oh my goodness, Rizex almost wrapped himself around the ball and scored an own goal there. Had to pull away from it in the end, and they're still under pressure. Arju, a great challenge, brilliant 50-50. His challenge game has been fantastic this series. Goes a little bit too close towards Ivan. And we can just about begin to start the process, getting Evil Geniuses out of this quandary they find themselves in. But this is what they don't want. Cash, another couple of touches, an aerial 50-50. Does he have a flip reset? He doesn't. Oh, I thought he had it. Oh, did he?
I think he did, and he used it, and it was just a 50 then against the defender anyway. But I'm pretty sure he had that, yeah.
That could have been really, really special. It still could be for Misfits if they can get back into this best of 7. Rizex up against Cash, gets past him. Matane is called into action. Now it's Ivan. It's just clean touch each, a bit ping-pongy, a little bit safe for these teams, but good pressure from Misfits. And Evil Geniuses clear their lines.
This is so far a very intense overtime because statistically, if a team wins 2 of the first games in these best of 7s, then they've got an 87% chance to go on to win the series. That's a very good chance. However, when you come up against Misfits, who have got the best win percentage in Europe so far this season at 71%, it just becomes so much scarier to lock this down. This puts EG in a great position, but Misfits are the one team you don't want to face in an overtime.
This is what I meant in the pre-show when I said that D-Rec normally makes us sound smarter. Ivan.
What do you mean? I shut my eyes and I knew that.
Mind palaced it.
I did.
Here's Rizex, up to the skies. 2 minutes and 20 seconds gone in this overtime. Still no sooner to finding out who is really going to take superiority in the series. Cash's pass is accurate.
That's so good.
What a save that is, though, from Rizex.
That is sublime! That is off the crossbar. Somehow, when I'd resigned myself to saying we go on to game number 4. Remarkable save from EG yet again.
The Rizex reflex just completely wrecked Misfits' chances of getting back into this series. Maybe another one. No, Rizex again. He's got no boost. Doesn't stop him. He's still getting in the way of everything. One more save for him. Not even needed because Matane hits it backwards. Then Cash with a pinch around the corner. Wants to get another touch and does get it. Matane is there. Surely Misfits pull the trigger soon.
When's the last time this ball left the blue half?
It's amazing.
I think that might be the first time in about a minute and a half, because Misfits having brilliant chances, shooting pretty well, and unable to get through that unbelievably solid. The shielding on the net is unreal.
Oh, and just look at the control there from Ivan. I said that he snapped at a couple on Forbidden Temple, but in that occasion, 3.5 minutes into overtime, he took all the time that he had. Brilliant play from him, which almost broke Misfits down, but now they have a player in front of the ball for a redirect, but Mitane can't quite connect. And now they all have to scramble back for boost. That was another real chance for Misfits. That time, it wasn't great defending from Evil Geniuses. It was just a miss.
Just absolutely unable to permeate the membrane sitting in front of that blue net. And Misfits are trying with every single ounce of their ability. Chance though for EG to put on a bit of a press, but it's quickly turned around and returned by Misfits. Mitane into the corner, has the boost stolen underneath him, and Rizex with boost and bumps may well cause more havoc.
We're really seeing the different attacking styles from these two teams right now. When it's Misfits, all three of them are so far forward. They are camped in blue territory. But for Evil Geniuses, they're happy to just soak it up, send 1 or 2 players forward at a time, show these mechanics, play with the ball. They only need one of them to do some damage. It makes it such a good watch, so interesting and intriguing.
Receiving that ball when he was having to drive in front of it, catches it on the boot, and then flies up, flip resets it round, buying time for his teammates to get some boost. That's exactly what I loved earlier on. Rizex with another flip reset, scoops it high, retains a receive, but you've got to think Misfits are scared of him.
Yeah, you must do, and he is just generating so much space as well. It's allowing his teammates to come forward. Eventually, you'd expect one of these solo plays will lead to one of his teammates having a clear shooting chance, but that one was slightly wayward. Here he is again, Rizex. This time it's a race. Mitane and Arju in defense. Can they do much against this particular Evil Genius's attack? To the corner it goes. Arju is there. He's following up against Catalysm, who's up there so quickly. Hasn't done too much in this game, but every time he's been called into action, he's done what's had to be done. And that's a slightly misplaced pass from Misfits, and this is where their playstyle is dangerous, because as soon as Evil Geniuses intercept, they are in real trouble.
Misfits are defending nicely, though, because they're being allowed quite a lot of boost. I've seen Rizex try to go for boost once or twice, but Catalysm and Ivan seem to not really fancy it. Great catch from Cash, isn't able to get it too much further than that nice montage-worthy catch, but instead, Mitane onto that right wall, 50 with Rizex, falls dangerously in front of the net. Ivan to save the skin of EG yet again, but Arju doubling, not quite the triple. Cash is lured in by Ivan.
For once, Misfits' second man is not just pinning the blue team back, and that was when the ball just rolls across the goal line. That is agonizing for Misfits, but they keep on going. Mitane can't quite decide whether he wants to shoot or pass. In the end, it's not quite either, and Catalysm, he was desperate for that boost, but I think Cash spawned on it, and that kills that attack. 6 minutes and 20 seconds of overtime have somehow passed. It feels like we've been here for about 2 minutes. It's going so quick.
Misfits have had 18 shots.
18?
EG have had 5. Misfits are pushing this net to its absolute limit, and yet nothing has fallen in.
This is Misfits who, when they were with Galaxy Racer, as a chance almost comes in, broke the record for longest overtime in RLCS against Team BDS. And it was an Arju air dribble, you may remember, that was the difference between those two teams in that game. So the man does have history in scoring some absolute bangers deep into overtime. So keep an eye out, Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, the potential for fearlessness. Mitane catches, goes for the solo. 2 defenders having to block him out, and yet they didn't look too worried about it. Mitane again to attack. We're over 7 minutes and 10 seconds into this overtime now. Ivan just coming awkwardly out the side of the net. Catalysm to receive. 50 so nicely. Cash to carry.
We are still only in game 3 and a best of 7 as well. Buckle up, everybody. Looking like this is going to be a long one. This game and this series. Cash with just a clearance towards Ivan. The touch is maybe starting to get a little bit tired. Somehow that falls for Cash himself. Not sure how it happened. Mitane has to show no fatigue here, putting this one to the side. Just a prod towards Arju. And Stumpy, I think we can officially say we've entered boomable territory.
Yeah, it has to be. We saw so many of those shots fly in earlier on in the series. Earlier on in this overtime. That is dangerous though, off the ceiling. Ivan has to get a vital touch away as we hit 8 minutes. And Cash hits his 11th shot on the net. It's
going to start to get a little bit tiring, but whoever gets this goal will have a massive boost going into the next game. They will feel invincible. The game is worth 2 or 3. in their brains right now. But that's
Do you
a good
remember
demo.
when I said-
Rizex opens things up. Here's Catalysm.
Two.
Demo. Ivan surely is going to score it. The double demo sees Misfits away.
The door absolutely smashed apart. Catalysm taking his time so wisely and finds Ivan with the reception. 8 minutes, 15 seconds. Evil Geniuses are forcing Misfits into having to reverse sweep them. Something that so far in Europe this season has not happened in a best of 7.
This is Misfits, who in the full split, they were expected to make the full major.
1,000-point game for Ivan.
It's a ridiculous game for Ivan. And in the third regional, they bombed out. They finished 15th, 16th, didn't get a single win in the Swiss. Misfits will be really starting to think that history is repeating itself right now because they've given themselves a chance, Stumpy, as they did in full. They gave themselves a chance in this series, playing better. It looks like it's not going to be taken because now they've used their timeout. They've just lost an 8-minute overtime, and they are 3 games down in a best of 7. I'm going to say it right now. If Misfits come back and win this series, it will be one of the best RLCS comebacks ever.
And you'll shave your head.
Why would I do that?
And you'll shave your head. I'm just saying, and you'll shave your head if they do it.
I'll throw some water over Gregan.
Deal. All right, deal. Misfits, then, they really need to get this win because Evil Geniuses, as they romp and they run, they can see the next round approaching rapidly. EG fans, you've got to be feeling excited about this because Rizex starts us off with a musty assist.
Yeah, that's what I want to see from Evil Genius, is just going for the kill straight away. But Arjo has a chance. What a save, though, from Ivan. He has had a fantastic series. Cash has switched to the Dominus. Desperate times for Misfits. Can they step up? 1 or 2 goals, Stumpy, and suddenly the belief and momentum will be back with them. But they have to score pretty soon, you'd think.
I don't see how they can. Ivan is looking beastly. He is resisting every single temptation from Misfits to let that ball go into his net. He's just holding out wonderfully, and in the midfield, he then catches the ball again from Rizex. I'm so impressed with him from the ceiling. Arju with a wondrous save.
Oh, it was Ivan who got the brilliant solo play from the ceiling. But yeah, what a save that was after. It still could be another chance. Mitane from the side sends it towards Cash. So both teams have had wonder saves. Their adrenaline will be going absolutely mad right now. I know mine is. Who can settle things down? That's my question. Because this is about to get very, very silly for both of these teams. You feel like the rotations won't quite be there. This will be a battle of mechanics for the next 3.5 minutes.
A missed double tap, though, from Cash isn't the best start the Misfits are going to want. Typically, he's going to be sinking then time and time again. Instead, one failure leads to a second close one. It's just pixels at this point.
Oh, so close. Again, I think it was Cash on the backboard. He shoots them a clean shot, and Cash puts Misfits into the lead for the first time this series.
Don't give Cash 3 chances. That's what they say. And Cash is proving that right. Rizex isn't able to get his nose to the ball. And Misfits with the first lead that they've had in this series, Cole, as you said, that may well be the confidence inspirer on their long journey to avoid the lower part of our bracket.
Full Cash once, shame on him. Full Cash twice, shame on you. Full Cash thrice, and he'll score a goal in the end, I believe is the phrase.
Won't get shamed again.
Yeah, exactly. 1-0 to Misfits. They absolutely needed that, and it just breathes the tiniest little bit of life into this series, but Catalysm could choke it straight back out again. There was Catalysm was arriving. Ivan needs to be really careful he doesn't get tackled.
Sorry, Rizex is absolutely clattering into the defender. Like, he didn't look composed whatsoever. He just held forwards and just threw his body at it like he was chucking himself through a styrofoam wall.
It's what's going to be needed in this series, honestly. After that overtime, so deep in a best of 7, it is going to be chucking everything at the ball and just hoping luck is on your side, hoping you have that moment of inspiration, hoping you have the mechanics. But sometimes the defense is important too. Catalysm is just backflipped on the goal line. Mitane has missed it. I love that this game is everything that we expected so far, and it's beautiful chaos.
Yeah, it is utterly chaotic. It just depends on who is going to be the king of chaos at the end. Ivan to the backboard. In the end, though, we do actually see Rizex rotate back out, low on boost potentially. Arju calls Cash off that ball. With 0 boost, though, he has the momentum going forward, so that's a brilliant call. And he gets a good chance for a 50. Mitane just ends up pushing a little bit too far forwards. 2 minutes remaining with the Misfits lead. This could be their first dub of the day.
I think we'll see a lot of chances like that where players are a little bit too far forward, so they just get a bit edgy, trying to force the issue. Here's Rizex. He has Catalysm behind him. Quick resets there. Can he get the pass or the shot? Cash. Oh, he sends it back towards Catalysm, who, as predicted, was just that little bit too far forwards to do anything with it. And now it's Arju for Misfits. Their time to go forwards could be now. Arju, though, can't quite get the bump, and Ivan can dribble it away.
Thing is, even if he did get the bump there, if Arju sent one defender away, there was still one more. EG looking like a Hydra right now.
Lovely flick there from Cash. Just gets a bit of space for Misfits, and Rizex's touch is closed down very speedily by Mitane. Catalysm in the end does have some clear chance, and just now Evil Genius is going to have to rush things a bit more, beginning to run out of time with 1 minute 10 left. They've been content to try and soak up this pressure for a little while from Misfits, but credit to Misfits who've made the most of that and got themselves the lead finally, almost a second one, but Mitane, who was turning the wrong way, and instead finds himself in the corner rather than having a clean shot.
Thing is, with all of these shots, Cash on 5 again and a single goal, there's just the defense from EG has held them out. And their defense, it's not going to win them this game. They need a goal. Rizex attempting to secure one, but Mitane tries to get a bump on Ivan, unsuccessful, but chasing is certainly their tactic.
It was like they were speed skating right there, just trying to catch. It was like speed tag is what they were playing. Anyway, Ivan sends out wide towards Rizex, who has an angle to shoot him maybe. No, instead he throws to Ivan, and Ivan finishes.
Big brains on Evil Geniuses. The pass from Ivan, and then Rizex faking central, gets the pass off the ball, and then faking it with the corner touch for the wonder goal. Leaves it to Ivan for a relative tap-in, just under 30 seconds. EG are back in. They are not defending their way to a victory. They are faking and fluking the defense.
Thought for a second that Catalysm was going to be rising there, but Cash wins it cleanly. 22 seconds left, potentially going into another overtime here, unless somebody can change that. Arju's looking like he fancies it. He's getting one touch. Catalysm closed it down very well. He has some boost to play with too, probably more than his opponents thought. It's found Mitane. Cash into the center. Can Arju rise? Can Arju win it? Not quite there. Ivan was there. Mitane to the backboard. This is so dangerous until Catalysm saw it coming. The pass isn't quite right. We have another overtime.
Certainly won't be 8 minutes again, I'm sure of it. Don't clip this bit when it's definitely 9 minutes long. Rizex, though, going for the early challenge. Cash manages to defend that ball away nicely. And we go through 10 seconds unscathed. Wondrous.
I'm sure that the craziness will start happening very soon. Evil Genius is so close to securing top 3 in this event. It'll be tantalizing for them now. They've failed before when everything was on their side. Will they do so again? That little doink from Mitane is going to make things even harder. Rizex at the near post gets the save. Ivan is helping him out, saving so much boost as well. 26 to him still left in the tank, which means he can close down Cash and send Misfits back. But they will come forward again, this time with Mitane, who is just, they're being closed down very quickly now in these solo plays, Misfits. But I feel like one accurate pass could just break through Evil Geniuses.
Chance though for Cash to go solo with one. Can he get that double? No, but you see Rizex and Ivan covering both options. One low, one high. In the end, Cash, no touch, but the fact they were covering it, that gives me a lot of hope that EG have got their game brain still screwed in.
Tired miss though there from Cash, and then a lovely slowdown from Rizex. Catalysm had to beat Arju though. If he'd have missed that one, Arju would have been prodding that ball back towards the goal. So it just shows you how quickly a dangerous moment for you can turn into a goal for you. Got to keep confident, keep believing. Rizex playing in front of the ball, trying to go for bumps. Arju so far back. Misfits giving nothing away, and still the passes are accurate. Ooh, that touch from Catalysm wasn't accurate at all. He's missed it completely.
What I love about Misfits right now, they're playing just in front of the ball, but also behind the defense. So then they're coming out of nowhere. Blind spots being filled with red cars. And EG looking scared whenever that happens, though. Ivan with a long shot, forcing Mitane to jump with low on boost as well. That puts him into an awkward position. Catalysm now starting to put that crunch on Ivan, wanting to push on that net. Rizex up realizes he doesn't need to rush, and so Catalysm can collect and send it far away. But Arju with an interception forces this attack to continue in favor of Misfits.
There was a really nice clearance from Cash earlier on, and it's exactly what Misfits needed as Mitane almost splits the defense there. Just get rid of that ball, because Evil Geniuses are bringing it forward more and more. They need boost, they need time, they need a second to compose themselves. So these big clearances from Misfits, exactly, they have to rely on. But this is what they don't want. Ivan dribbling the ball. Arju is going to get bumped out of the way, and Ivan's going to steal the boost. Masses of work again from Ivan. Not fancy, but so effective.
I'm frustrated, though, that he was doing all of that and nobody else from EG was pushing in. Ivan was clearly bumping, he was clearly boost stealing, and yet the two men were sitting midfield or further back. That's not what I want.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you there. Evil Geniuses can't just sit back and hope they win this series. They have to reach out and take it. They have to defeat Misfits Gaming. Nothing else will work. Rizex with a catch on the backboard. Both of his teammates behind him. Hoping the 50-50 is an effective one. They need to surge forward. They need to help him out. Here is Catalysm. That might be the moment.
Open!
Evil Geniuses secure top 3.
Top 3 with a sweeper. That Rizex with no boost forces Matane into the most awkward of positions. With 3 minutes in that overtime, an amazing performance for Evil Geniuses. Hands on heads, hearts aflutter, and hugs abound.